everybody. Welcome to the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. It's Friday, the first Friday in the new year. Thank you so much for taking time out of the day as we get ready to look at the forecast going into the weekend. If you are joining this, whether you're joining this live or whether you're joining this after the fact, this forecast is designed to get us ready for the weekend and beyond, and kind of sneak peek into what we can expect for next week. The early half of the week looks rather quiet, and what we could possibly be looking at late week, which could be a little bit more active. Today's forecast made possible by ServPro, Monroe, West Monroe. Faster to any size disaster. Call or click servpro.com today. I-20 looks to be moving rather smoothly. Obviously, we're not going to have the volume that you would normally see at 4:45 on a Friday evening, simply because we're still kind of in holiday mode for much of the area. But again, no accidents from what I can see, and everything seems to be moving smoothly. Starting to lose daylight on this Friday afternoon, and quite a bit of late sunshine helping to skyrocket temperatures. A lot of areas could see record highs by the end of the day. Usually get climate numbers from the National Weather Service, like our official numbers, around this time during the day. So I'm awaiting information to see if Monroe broke a record high or just tied a record high today. The record high was 79, set back in 2023, and we were there for a good stretch of time this afternoon. Infrared satellite shows a lot of low to mid clouds kind of backfilling, more mid clouds than anything, kind of backfilling across the region. They've been off and on, but we've seen quite a bit of sunshine, especially in the western counties and parishes, as we've worked through the afternoon. Your radar made possible by Brown's Roofing. Schedule your free roof inspection at brownsroofingla.com. Not a whole lot happening in our area. Do have some shower activity moving through the Tennessee Valley and portions of the southeast, but the upper disturbances that are driving all that rainfall really bypassing our area with the best rain chances. Oh gosh, the hair's looking rough. Not that I'm really worried about my vanity, but I figured the toddler's been just crazy today, so she may have just knocked it a little haywire. High temperatures again unofficially for the day: 72 in Camden, 69 in Monticello. Everyone else noticeably warmer, mid-70s. Upper 70s. Greenville was at 71. But we're at 79 unofficially for the high temperature today in Monroe, 77 in Ruston, 79 in Natchez. So again, as I peek back over to look at some of the other temperatures, let's take a look at the Louisiana Mesonet, which is operated by the University of Louisiana Monroe. High temperature 79 flat at ULM. Ears 79.5. Colfax 80.6. Colfax is the only 80-degree reading I see from the Louisiana Mesonet. A lot of 78, 79s, 79.7 in Manny, 79.4 in Winfield. So again, very, very warm afternoon across the area. Currently, still generally 70s. Some 60s sprinkled in along Highway 278. Camden's at 68. Monticello's at 68. Greenville's at 69. 77 in Vicksburg, 73 in El Dorado. Good evening, Onethia. Have a good weekend. Winds are out of the southwest. Again, quite warm out ahead of this weak boundary area of low pressure that's dragging through the region. Those winds have been breezy through the course of the day, but you can start to see the winds out of the north along Highway 278. Those areas running a little bit cooler, and they'll be the first ones to see the temperatures fall as we go through the night. Winds have been a little gusty at times today as well. In fact, our peak wind gusts topping out 33 miles an hour in Natchez, 22 miles an hour in Monroe, 31 miles an hour in Alexandria. Again, the winds were much lighter across southern Arkansas. Futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports. I-20 frontage road in Monroe shows those northerly winds building in. Angela, I love being a meteorologist in all types of weather. It's been boring. I'll get to that in a minute. It's been really boring. The drought conditions stink because there's only so much you can talk about. When you're really looking at cloud cover and getting excited about forecasting cloud cover, you know things are boring. Severe weather is interesting and fascinating to forecast. Winter weather is interesting, fascinating to forecast. Tropical weather is great. Of course, they bring danger and anxiety and stuff like that, which is the negative aspects. But in terms of the science part of it, it's pretty fun. Winds will build back out of the north. Hey, Miss Hannah, thanks so much for your help today. And Christian, good afternoon. Those cooler temperatures arrive as we head toward daybreak tomorrow. 40s and 50s to start the day, hovering near 60 along the Mississippi Valley, and we really won't warm up much through the course of the day. It'll be a combination of cloud cover and some breezy northerly winds continuing to pull cooler air in through the day. A lot of us will probably top out in the upper 50s to right at 60 degrees as we go through your Saturday afternoon. So again, noticeably cooler from where we were today. 20 degrees cooler. Don't say I didn't warn you. It's a fairly weak front in the grand scheme of things, but it will make a difference. Temperatures fall into the upper 30s to low 40s as we head towards Sunday morning. Not out of the realm of possibilities for some portions of southern Arkansas to see the freezing mark, but I would deem it unlikely. Winds become more northeasterly or easterly as we go through the day on Sunday, but still not warming up much. Generally, upper 50s to low 60s for highs, which is pretty close to normal for this time of year. So the weekend will be quite seasonal, if you will. Winds swing back around to the east and the southeast. Morning lows still near 40 to start the day on Monday, but the warming trend is on from there. And then we get into some changes in the upper level pattern. So here's how things shake out. We get the upper disturbance that darts through the area and has kind of bring the increase in cloud cover. And then there's going to be this secondary disturbance, which again, the first one's looking stronger than initially thought. The second one reaffirms the cooler, drier air that hangs around through the daytime hours on Sunday. So we're already running cooler than we thought we would on Saturday because that upper disturbance is a little bit stronger, bringing some cooler air in. And then the secondary kind of follow-up ripple behind it also reasserting some cool, dry, northerly winds aloft. So we continue to pull cold air in through the day on Sunday. Hello, Bobby. And hello, Dinah. Snows. Early part of the month, obviously, it seems unlikely, right? Latter part of the month, who knows? Next 7 to 10 days, winter weather is very unlikely. Anything outside of that, I don't like going into that kind of stuff because it can change so quickly, and I think you can appreciate that. Ridge of high pressure builds in as we go into the early parts of next week. That keeps us dry. And even by Tuesday and Wednesday, note we go from we go from ridge of high pressure, everything's hunky-dory, right? To eventually a subtle southwesterly shift of those winds, and now we're starting to transport subtropical moisture in. We start seeing an increase in cloud cover as early as Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. No rainfall, just cloud cover, but starting to stack up the deeper layered moisture ahead of a few disturbances late next week. What those storm systems look like, we still don't know, and we won't know for a couple more days. Gloria, hello. Janet, good evening to you as well. Again, disturbance number one, as it ejects out to the north and east, where is it positioned? What does it mean for our area? Way too early to determine. The parent storm system, how it evolves through the region and moves through. Again, way too early to discuss. The trend, though, with the GFS is, however, to continue to set us up with this conveyor belt of moisture through next weekend. So this is what it would look like in terms of total moisture. Again, cooler, drier air punching in this weekend, very quiet. By early next week, we start to see the Gulf moisture move back in. And as I mentioned, as early as Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, we really start bringing deeper amounts of subtropical moisture in and bringing in deeper amounts of moisture in all levels of the atmosphere. So winds are back out of the south at the surface. We're continuing to kind of stack and accumulate moisture up, if you will, ahead of whatever storm systems could be setting up our way. And again, depending on how this trough of low pressure evolves and how the upper level pattern evolves, it could set you up for some sort of conveyor belt of moisture that really stacks up a lot of water over our area. But again, that's just, we can't make a lot of assumptions. We can just look at the trends. The 6 to 10 day precip outlook continues to increase confidence of rain in our area, which is good news. I mean, obviously we need the rainfall. The downside is you don't want it all at one time. We don't want some big 5-7-inch rain event coming through over a span of 3 or 4 days, because that's not as beneficial to our area. We don't soak in as much of that rain. A lot of it runs off, creates flood problems, and it doesn't help to really alleviate the drought conditions in our area. We would prefer to stretch that kind of rainfall over 2 weeks or so. But we also can't pick and choose when we get it, so obviously it's something we'll keep an eye on. For those wondering, hey, when are we going to know more? We could know more over the weekend. Really just depends on how that lead disturbance evolves. In full disclosure, a lot of what I just showed you is based off of the GFS model. If you look at the European model, it brings a pretty potent upper-level disturbance through the region on Thursday. And it really brings it as kind of a severe weather maker for our area on Thursday. But there's not a lot of agreement in all of that data yet, so we can't really get that aggressive with the forecast. Lows tonight, low to mid-50s. There's all that information from the Weather Service I was just talking about. It's just Shreveport. The only one they have right out now is that Shreveport broke a record today. That's the only one I see. Maybe there'll be more out. The weekend, daytime highs hovering upper 50s to low 60s. It just depends on location. Cooler to the north, warmer to the south and east. In fact, along the Mississippi Valley, I've got Natchez in the low 60s through the weekend. So it'll be a little cool, close to normal for this time of year. Clouds will linger and some breezy northerly winds through the day tomorrow, probably on the higher end of that 5 to 10 mile an hour range. So again, a smidge breezy as we go through the day. Look at the 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Hardware. Sets us up for, again, a seasonal weekend with a sharp warming trend for early next week. Highs in the 60s by Monday, maybe even by near 70 by Monday. Mid-70s Tuesday, Wednesday morning, lows in the 50s to near 60. Rain chances are very conservative for late next week. Do I expect rain chances to go up for late next week? On some days, yes. But until we get some better agreement, all that stuff, we'll kind of pump the brakes on everything, keep it very, very conservative. I'll be updating the forecast this weekend. Don't expect live streams this weekend. This is nothing pressing enough to the point where we need to be out here on Sunday and alarming everybody. Sounding alarm bells is what I mean. Hey, we got to get ready for this Thursday severe weather outbreak. We're not going to do that. This isn't one of those types of, we're seeing, big pattern signals of that. We could see some thunderstorms. We could see some severe weather. We could see an organized severe weather threat. Could also just be a cold front bringing rain. But it'd be nothing. Could pass us to the northwest. Bring us absolutely nothing. Way too early. We talk about how confident we are in the 5 to 7 day time frame. Sometimes we have to get into the 3 to 5 day time frame before we really feel confident about stuff. Sometimes that 5 to 7 day window can still be really blurry, especially when it comes to winter weather or when it comes to severe weather in the winter. Too Long Didn't Read will resume on Monday at 9:30. Your fishing game comes out at 8 p.m. tonight. And for those that have just found us over the last couple of days and weeks, thanks so much for joining the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. We're so glad you're here. If you are a regular, like most of the folks that are here this evening, hello Jane and Jan. But again, if you're one of my regulars, thank you so much for taking time out of the day to catch a look at the forecast. Again, I'll be updating the forecast this weekend. I wouldn't expect live streams unless something absolutely pressing pops up, and then obviously I'll let you know about it. But I'll be updating the forecast on the app and on the website, and maybe videos or other, graphic posts, articles, things like that, discussions, advanced weather discussions, things like that. Those are all possibility, just depends on how things evolve as we go through the weekend. Aside from that, forecast is always available, like I said, at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy New Year for those that are just joining us for the first time in this new year. And I'll catch you on Monday. I think that covers everything. I should have probably... Hey, Scott. Hello. I should have probably just hit the button, because that was the end of the stream. I've still got to figure out how to end these and not be awkward. 4 months. Still trying to figure it out. Nothing's permanent. Thanks so much for stopping by the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. Have a great weekend, everybody.